Warning! This video contains hate speech, and it's going to be dedicated to all the morbidly obese, fat fucking feminist bitches who have been sending me death threats recently. I found out where you live. More importantly, I found out what you look like, and you are disgusting. So we're gonna go over the topic that's very near and dear to your heart. And I'm not talking about cholesterol either. What I'm talking about is thin privilege and fat shaming. Also, you wanna know how I know you're not gonna kill me? It's because that act would involve sneaking. And you and I both know that the only way you'd ever be able to sneak up on me would be if you wore all gray and I mistook you for an elephant at the fucking zoo. KevinTThoms. Thin privilege. What is thin privilege, you may be asking yourself? Well, from what I've read on Tumblr, thin privilege is when A, you don't weigh over 400 pounds, and B, when your fat folds don't have fat folds. Now, this has become the new staple for the feminist movement, but it makes complete sense because, as we all know, 3 conditions must be met in order to be a proper third-wave feminist. 1, you have to hate men. 2, you have to be a lesbian. And 3, your genitals must be hidden from the sight of your eyeballs, which is also another reason for gender fluid people, but that'll be another video. Now, I don't have a problem with anyone who weighs over 400 pounds. It's your life. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. However, when you call me the oppressor yet again, just because a fucking medical doctor can take a look at my anatomy and correctly identify different parts on it without going, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? Then I have a problem. Kevin's just gonna make jokes about fat people.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
Why would you even think that? Like all my other videos, this is only going to be an intellectual debate. There is no room for joking here. I mean, it's life. This is serious shit. So let's take a look at the first feminist debate regarding thin privilege. I apologize immensely. That video clip was not supposed to be played. My video editor, he is an extremely insensitive, overprivileged white man, and he will be reprimanded severely because of that. So I would like to offer my official apology if it offended any of you fat, disgusting, feminist blobs to where you gotta lift up like half a ton of stomach. Is that the fuckhole or a belly button? Oh my god, is that a G.I. Joe action figure? Do they even make those anymore? And that smell, is that a yeast infection, or is that rancid moldy cream cheese that's been baked into a dead cat air freshener in the sun for 2.5 years? I am so sorry if that offended you. Let's get on with the intellectual debate because I know that all of you are very intellectual.
I made this post in response to a person who denied their thin privilege and essentially called me an angry fat bitch. Well, although true, is not necessarily entirely true. Well, although true, is not necessarily entirely true.
Well, although true.
What the fuck?
See, the thing is, I might be fat, and I might be angry, and I might be a bitch. Homophobia, sexism, fat phobia. For instance, I'm fat. Because I am fat, there is a whole list of things that happen to me that don't happen to thin people solely based on my size.
I'm Wilford Brimley, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about diabetes.
Thin privilege is basically things that thin people are able to do that fat people like myself aren't.
Now this may need some clarification, as no matter how many videos I looked at, I couldn't actually find someone who explained what thin people can do that fat people can't. So after much research, I finally found a video that explained it through the beauty of song.
Gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. Bit of running, you ready? I'll run this race and I will never stop. I'll follow Jesus till the
At this point, we should have a much better idea of what's going on. You see, there are people who are extremely overweight, and they're unhappy, which is our fault, because we haven't done enough to accommodate them, and we all need to admit our privilege.
By acknowledging privilege, any privilege in regards to any social issue, you are not effectively shaming the group that has privilege over you. You are merely acknowledging that it exists in an attempt to begin to correct it.
Oh yeah? Hey, Kool-Aid! Oh yeah, here comes Kool-Aid, here comes Kool-Aid, I'm gonna save the day.
Make some awareness about the issue. You know, it's hard being fat. You know, they judge my eating habits, my exercise habits. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I eat junk and I don't exercise hardly at all.
Are you allowed to eat jelly donuts, Private Pile?
Sir, no, sir!
And why not, Private Pile?
Sir, because I'm too heavy, sir!
Because you are a disgusting fat body, Private Pile! So, from now on, whenever Private Pile fucks up, I will not punish him! I will punish all of you!
And the thing is I don't want to sound mean either, but you have threatened my life and I am terrified. I'm probably like the nicest, sanest, down-to-earth person you'll ever meet, and I just wanna hold your hand and get along with you, and I'm gonna find you, and we're gonna dance all night in the moonlight. And you want, what's that? I can't not sound mean at this point? Oh. Well, I guess I'll just do what I normally do then. Here's a video from one of the social justice warriors on fat acceptance, and it is fucked up. Now, there isn't anything wrong with being extremely morbidly obese other than a long list of health issues, paying for cheaper plane tickets, and general overall happiness, but why are you now blaming everybody who isn't obese? The biggest argument I'm seeing on Tumblr is they're not selling 4X and up in women's stores. Again, that's my fault, isn't it, ladies?
Little my pajamas fit now. I can't get them down at all. They just go right back up.
Now, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that was porn, but that is the Tumblr mindset. One post read, "We are barely able to clothe ourselves. These stores are discriminating. Obesity needs to be protected under the Constitution, just like gender and race. You are all overprivileged." Okay, fine, we're all overprivileged, just because we don't force ourselves to eat until we vomit. But the claim that stores don't sell your clothing size is bullshit. I see commercials for it all the time.
Our canvas will not wick water. Watertight and breathable means you stay more comfortable. This rugged tent will also hold up to strong winds and even snow loads.
OMG, that is perfect. Think about it. It's breathable in the summer months, but still warm enough for the winter months. And if that's not your style, there's plenty more to choose from. You've got tablecloths, tarps, blankets, suicide, exercise. The list goes on and on. Oh my God, Kevin, you're such an asshole. I'm triggered again. You're right, I am. But everyone who's not an asshole is just nice privileged. You have no idea how hard it is for me to have lasting relationships, to get into movie theaters, to euthanize Vietnamese children, and to put flyers of this dick up at the handicapped bathrooms at Walmart. And what's worse is every time I meet a hooker off Craigslist, I kill her. Why is this world trying to put me in jail? Why does this world not accommodate to me? And I don't believe in spreading censorship or anything, but I think we should censor all the people who disagree with me, because that's considered hate speech. That is the message you're trying to send, right? That anyone who doesn't think like you or look like you or agree with the things you have to say, well, they're the oppressor, so you avoid responsibility. No one gives a shit if you come out and say, I'm fat, it's who I am. The problem is you're trying to push an authoritarian regime under the guise of political correctness. And what's worse is you're trying to say that it's healthy to be unhealthy just so you can feel better about yourselves, instead of realizing, maybe things in life would be easier if I lost a metric ton. But no, it's far easier to jump on the bandwagon and play the victim. So you'll call the sidewalk discriminatory because it breaks under your feet.
Oh, I got rejected from going on the helicopter, and it was really embarrassing. The guy was like, you weigh 302. And I was like, well, my husband only weighs like 260, so I have a little buffer. And he was like, no, it's 300 pounds per person. And he would not let me on it.
Clearly, that helicopter pilot was just perpetuating thin privilege, and it is disgusting. I mean, how could he possibly allow her to feel embarrassed instead of jeopardizing the lives of every single person on the helicopter? And we need to ban physics books, too, because they are racist. Fuck you, normies, you normal-sized people. You make me sick. Fuck you for not making humongous seats on airplanes at the same price as the smaller ones. Fuck you for not making bigger doorways. Fuck you for making clothing that's bigger more expensive, even though it is more cloth. I mean, that is the mindset you're living in, isn't it? You believe you are a special little sunflower and the whole world has a problem. And you wonder why everyone hates you. You can make all the poor life choices you want, but it's us that have to accommodate. And if we don't, we are being the oppressor. So you know what? Go ahead. Play the victim card. It's the easiest thing to do. Congratulations. You are now officially a social justice warrior. Buzzkill. Let's get to the best captions from last video's picture. Alright, now try to think of a caption for this one. Alright, well I need to go now because I have a date tonight. She just doesn't know it yet. Love you!
In a time of oppression, a leader and a warrior, a woman so extraordinary, she is still an inspiration. Joan of Arc.
What the fuck?!